Hello my fellow readers, in this video I'm going to talk about another light novel, and that is My Happy Marriage by Akumi Agitogi. Hopefully I said that right. I really liked this light novel, and it was very, very quick. This is just over 150 pages, so it's a super, super quick one. The second volume will be out soon. I need to get that. I'm trying to remember if I ordered it already. I may have. But this, let me read the back and then I'll go over my thoughts on it. Is this marriage a blessing or a curse? Born talentless to a noble family famous for their supernatural abilities, Mio Saimori is forced into an existence of servitude by her abusive stepmother. When Mio finally comes of marriageable age, though, her hopes of being whisked away to a better life crumble after she discovers her fiancé's identity. Kyoka Kudo, a commander apparently so cold and cruel that his previous would-be brides all fled within 3 days of their engagement. With no home to return to, Mio resigns herself to her fate and soon finds that her pale and beautiful husband-to-be is anything but the monster she expected. As they slowly open their hearts to each other, both realize the other may be their chance at finding true love and happiness. So, yeah. The story starts off kind of a Cinderella-esque story where Mio is essentially abused by her stepmother. I don't know why her dad doesn't care unless he was totally overly manipulated. I mean, he's kind of a doofus. I don't like him either. Like, she has a terrible family. I'm just gonna put it like that. So her stepmother makes her be a servant to the family. She has a sister who is also cruel to her and has been told to treat her as a servant by her mother, and that she's like less. A big part of this has to do with the magic system of this world, where when the child is young, they're assessed for their magical abilities and properties, and it seems as though Mio doesn't have any. So she's then set as lower. And the biggest shocker there was because both her father and her mother were of noble, like, abilitied people. So her mother did have power, which is why she married her father. But when Mio was born, or at least came of age, she didn't have any power. Her mother passed away, I think after an illness, and Mio didn't have much to hold on to from her mother. And then really horribly and tragically, with her stepmother's abuse, her stepmother takes like all of the things that Mio's mother had, but that had Mio had kind of inherited, and she just destroys it all. She has it all taken away from Mio and destroyed. And again, treated Mio as a servant because she had no rights or standing. She didn't have, presumably, any abilities, and is really, really awful. And then she just has her daughter, who is Mio's sister, treat her just as poorly. And in fact, Mio only has like one person that still liked her and treated her well, which is the son of another noble family, and they grew up together. And at the start of this, he's coming over to see her father, and Mio really hopes that she will be able to become his wife and escape. But when she's called into the room by her father, her sister is going to marry him, and Mio's being sent off to the character Kyoka Kudo, who is really high up in the military, and has this like astounding power. Like, he's one of the most powerful in the world, I think. I don't think it's just the country, I think it's the world. And yes, has this reputation of not accepting girls. That sounds weird, but there have been a bunch of people that have wanted to have their eligible daughters marry him, but none of them have succeeded. And so everybody thinks it's because he must be awful. But when Mio goes there, it's this weird mix between the two of them, because he at first thinks that she must be another one of these girls that's just trying to get in with him to gain his wealth and his status and all that jazz. Meanwhile, Mio is worried that she's going to disappoint him, that he's going to be abusive like her family, that she won't live up to expectations and be kicked out, and she won't have anywhere to go because she has no ability, she has no standing. Her family's not going to just take her back. So she really has trauma victim response to a lot of things. She doesn't always know like how to process kindness either. Like, he will try to do things that are kind, or sometimes he says things that seem abrasive to her. Again, a lot of that is because she's the victim of abuse, so it's not easy for her to get that not everybody will respond the same way. But she has that response because of her abusive past, and as he gets to know her, he starts to see that and respond in different ways. And so far, I just find this really lovely as they're navigating their way to get to know one another, and he is discovering that she's not that bad, that her intentions are more pure, and that she was kind of forced into this situation, and also the situation that she actually came from. It's just fascinating, and her like discovering that he's not some beast, that there were reasons that these other relationships didn't work out. I don't know, I just really liked it because I like crafty relationship fiction where there's a basis that it's good. Like they seem like more fleshed out characters. I like the magic system in this world. No, I think we do find out. Mio is not totally powerless there. I don't think that she isn't, well, maybe she will end up being an amazing with her abilities. I don't know. She still has to learn and develop, but it wasn't seen through the tests because it's different. Like, what she's able to do is different than the abilities that get tested, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a little while since I finished this. So yeah, I look forward to seeing like how that gets developed. I feel somewhat sorry for the one boy that was her friend because he's not that bad, and it's just the structure of the world that he kind of ended up in this situation where he was forced to become engaged to the sister, and she's not very nice. And then his father is also very manipulative. I don't know, yeah, so I feel bad for him because like he didn't want to, he wanted to be there for Mio, and he ended up kind of being mistreated and misused too because they used his standing, I guess, against them. I don't know. I feel bad for him, but I can't wait to see like what happens further in the series. And that was just volume 1. Like, I don't know. We also meet some of like the friends of Kyoka, and they seem good. I don't know. I'm just so pulled into this first one. The base establishment of these two and their relationship was just really good. And I can't wait to see what happens next. And I'm wondering if it's going to be very episodic, because there was obviously a main story that got told and finished. So yeah, I'm wondering if each volume will be episodic in that way, like conclude with this story, etc., etc. I'm very interested in finding out, and I will soon, because I'm going to get the second volume because I really enjoyed this. That is it for this video. Until next time, bye.